This is the Reds Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, Reds fans. How we doing? Probably not very good, but welcome to another edition of the Postcast, brought to you by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Podcast Network. I'm Tim Daniel. I'm a lifelong Cincinnati Reds fan, and I've been podcasting about this team for 5 years at publications such as Late Night Reds and the Riverfront. And I want to thank you all for spending some time with me this Monday night as we unfortunately discuss the Reds giving up a game to the Washington Nationals 10-8 tonight in DC. If you're just checking me out for the first time, welcome. It's so great to have you here. Please be sure to hit that notification button if you are a first timer so you can become an everydayer. You'll not only get my show after each and every single Reds game, but you'll get Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. Right now, new customers will get $150 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. On tonight's show, we're going to talk about the fact that was a really annoying loss. I'm not going to say it's a game they should have won because they certainly played worthy enough of a loss, but it was really annoying. They had a lot of things that really didn't make any sense. Brady Singer looked like he was the Nationals' best player tonight. We're going to get into his performance. And, I can't go all negative. I got to give the offense some props and highlight a few of the particular guys on the offensive side and talk about what they did too. So we're going to talk about all of that. And, of course, I'm going to hear from you in the chat as well. But let's go ahead and let's just get through it. It's a safe place, right?
This is what you'll be talking about.
So that was annoying. And there's a lot of things about it that are annoying. First things first, obviously, the team you're playing. A team who just fired their manager, just fired their GM. They're not rebuilding. They're tearing it down. They're just trying to be done with it. And the Reds are down 4-0 in the first inning. Really annoying. And then they give up 3 more before Brady Singer's pulled in the third. And you're like, okay, all right. Well, in between that time, Jake Fraley gets a double, basically gives himself up and is out on second base when he read a ball incorrectly off the plate. That's awesome. And realistically, I think every single guy in the bullpen tonight, other than Scott Barlow, was just begging for pitches to be hit. Part of that is the fact that the umpiring was really bad tonight. I'm not going to do that again tonight. Did it yesterday. I can't do it 2 nights in a row. At that point, you're complaining too much. But this was just really frustrating because, well, let's just kind of go through it. Let's start with Lyon Richardson. I understand why Lyon Richardson came in the game when it's 7-0. And I get why he still goes out there for the bottom of the fourth after they score 5 runs. But once I had put 5 on the board and I was back in the game, no, he's out. Matter of fact, he's on his way to Louisville immediately if it's up to me. Like, no more Lyon Richardson. All right. Like, the May thing was awesome. He's got to figure it out somewhere else because Lyon Richardson is not done enough at this point. I mean, we're talking about a guy who in his last 7 appearances has a 7.36 ERA. And in his last 5 and has a 2.3 whip. His whip is over 2. And Tito's putting him in the games and keeping him in games. Can't be happy yet. It's just this. Scott Barlow was really good. At least they had that going for us. Sam Ball, I don't know. You're starting to see why he was in Louisville for a long time today, this year. Graham Ashcraft, not so good either. Taylor Rogers looked like he was going to be good. And then, I mean, at least he didn't give up a run. And Brent Suter, again, gets squeezed. 2 days in a row, he gets squeezed. I mean, so I don't know. It's just this thing where what's annoying is, so they're 1-3 against the Nats this year, and the Nats are 20 games under 500 now after tonight. That's ridiculous. It's the fact that they have these losses too. And look, we say it all the time. Take 2 out of 3, win series, move on. That's what you want to do. But it's these losses they have against these teams that just are so frustrating. Tonight, it's the Marlins series right before the All-Star break. It's that Friday night loss against the Rockies that they were winning pretty big in. This is just the fact that I don't understand why because I don't even want to do the thing where we're like, oh, they played at the low of their competition. But it does kind of feel like it's like there's at least one game in these sets, one game at minimum where they do play to their competition. And hopefully that was today, because now you put yourself behind the 8 ball when you're trying to win some games, and you're obviously trying to keep track in the wild card spot. You're really far out in the division. If you look around right now, the good news is the Braves are up on the Giants. You have that going for you. I guess we're still talking about the Cubs. I don't think the Reds have any chance of catching the Cubs. But the rest of the National League wildcard contenders at the moment aren't really doing the Reds any favors. Padres won tonight. Philly's got to win tonight, which Philly's probably going to win the East anyway. But the Mets got to win tonight. So these games where you really need to kind of find a way to beat the teams you're better than, you got to put it there. And Johnny's right. I mean, it was a bad start by Singer. The offense put runs on the board. We're going to get to that as well. That's, like I said, I can't go all negative. But just a day where you kind of saw with this team the things we've kind of been talking about for a while now, right? And it's go make moves. Go make moves. You saw tonight where your gaping issues are with this roster currently. Go get guys. It's time. I think it's, if it's not now, win. So, they finally get to 5 games over 500 and they lose the next 2 to get 3 over. So I don't know, man. I just wanted to, I thought they could go into DC, they could get a win tonight, make things a little easier for Chase Burnsmore to kind of pitch a little lighter, not trying to tie a series up, just kind of go out there and breathe a little easier. Maybe he still will. Maybe he's just going to go out there and dominate tomorrow. I certainly hope so. But just a day where they kind of left a lot of things on the table. 6 for 18 with runners in scoring position is solid. Just feels like in a game like this, it's just a little overemphasized. How do they have 18 guys in runners in scoring position tonight? Oh my gosh. That's crazy. They left 8 on base. It happens when your offense is getting that many hits. But yeah. And then of course, Will Benson goes up there in the 9th inning, and I'm sitting there tweeting like, we haven't seen him since the All-Star break. Wonder why? And I went, Will Benson. But it wasn't their day. We all move forward. We try to get a win tomorrow. Stop the losing streak before it gets too far down. Come home for Tampa, feeling good, obviously, get these next 2 games. But Brady Singer was kind of the thing that really kind of set the Reds back. And it seems like, Brady Singer dug the hole that took them a while to get back into. So let's talk about that and kind of see how the Reds picked up from there right after this. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies while supplies last. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Summer sports are in full swing, whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action. FanDuel is the best way to make games even more exciting. You're already following the action, so why not make it a little more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups, and the apps keep it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. It's easy to use, fast to pay out, and makes even regular season games feel like must-watch events. Whether I'm placing a same-game parlay or like a buffoon today, I placed the under on the Reds-Nationals game. That was not even close to hitting. FanDuel makes it feel like I'm part of the action. New to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started. Want to shout out every dayers here on the Postcast. It's so nice to see you all each and every day, even in a Reds win or unfortunately like tonight, like a Reds loss. Thank you for all being here. It's definitely appreciated. If you're just checking me out for the first time, thank you so much as well. Hit that notification button so you can become an everydayer. Hang out with our friends like Jason, Johnny, Kyle, William, agent who are here each and every night talking Reds baseball with me. And you can also get Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds as well. Let's talk about when this game became looking like it was going to be full on Nationals way. Here's the turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
So Josh Bell hits a solo shot at the bottom of the third, and you went, oh, that's not good. And then Riley Adams follows it up with a double that brings in Brady House. And then Jacob Young has a single that brings in Dalen Lilly to make it 7-0. And you thought, that's probably not going to be the Reds' way. And albeit they fought back. But it just was not meant to be. Joshua, I don't know what the purpose of this is. 10 times out of 10 make that trade. I mean, I don't know if you look at Jonathan India's numbers, he's not doing very well, and he's playing like 9 different positions. So Brady Singer wasn't good tonight. There's no way to spin it. There's no positives there. The good news is, I guess, it's only the second time he's had a stinky start like this really the whole year. He got the run support he's used to getting after he left the game. But it's just the thing that sent him back tonight. You know, it stinks. It happens. You certainly would hope it wouldn't be against a team like the Nationals, who are in the situation they are, but sometimes you run into this, and I hate it. You know, it feels like 9 times out of 10, you can really trust him to go out there and give you 5-6 innings, 2 to 3 runs at most, and you have a chance at the game. You have a chance to win the game. Tonight just wasn't that night. And, you know, he was just really, really bad tonight. Jason says it right. He was terrible. And I can normally put a positive spin on things, but I guess the positive spin on this is he's not pitching against the Nationals again the rest of the year. That was my try. But I don't know. It just seemed like he was off from the jump. And you could tell when he gave up the homer to Josh Bell, the body language wasn't there. It felt like he came out flat. And the team, I thought, came out flat for the first couple innings. So they put that little rally together in the fourth, obviously. But it just kind of seemed like, I wouldn't say he's someone who I would say like was just not wanting to be there by any means, but certainly feel like he was having a hard time getting in the groove of the game. And I feel like that's just baseball sometimes. It's weird. It sucks. You know, like you said, you can rely on that guy quite a bit, fairly often. But today, it just wasn't his day. And obviously the rest of the bullpen, other than Scott Barlow, really struggled as well. I feel like that might have been the best contact day the Nationals have had this season. I haven't watched many Nationals games because I have better things to do in my life. But it seems like they hit everything. I don't recall many outs, even though I obviously know they had plenty. And I don't know. I feel like at this point now, you know, like I said in the first segment, I feel like Lyon Richardson probably has to go to Louisville. If Carson Spires is ready, I see Joshua asked about that. I guess I'm willing to give him a shot, see what he can do. You know, the big thing's obviously what happens if they can just get Hunter Green back, because the conversation around that just seems weird. Like, I know he's going to pitch in an ASL game, but that's all we know. And I still want to go get some bullpen arms. I guess the Red Sox decided it'd be nice and to their fans and try to go for the AL East now, which is stupid of them because I really wanted to go get some guys. The Reds get some guys from there. I never thought Jaron Duran was as possible as Steve and Jeff were making it, but I understand why they were kind of making the point. We all know who I wanted. That doesn't seem like it's going to happen because he's closing games for the Red Sox now and doing really well. Thanks, guys. We're stuck with Taylor Rogers as a lefty. You can't get the ball over the plate, but you know, Roldis Chapman's out there at 90 years old with no arm injury, striking people out. I digress. It wasn't all terrible tonight, though, right? There was some fight. There was some heart after coming out flat. You like all that stuff. And there was one guy in particular who, even though it didn't have a hit tonight, made sure he put his stamp on the game, and that's our Locked On Player of the Game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
So it's hard to be the Locked On Player of the Game when you don't get a hit, right? What if you walk 3 times and score 3 runs? Because that's what Elly De La Cruz did tonight. Even when you're not getting hits, you're finding ways to contribute and keeping your team in the game, and then he did just that. I loved his at-bats tonight. I thought that the walks were great. I mean, there was a couple of them he got down 1-2 and found a way to work it, was fouling pitches off. Elly was awesome tonight, like he normally is. Other guys could consider Novi Marte, I thought was really good tonight. Obviously, had 2 hits. Jake Fraley, really good tonight, but that pickoff play at second base really kind of took him out of the game for me. But otherwise, offense did their thing tonight. I mean, anytime you score 8 runs against the Nationals, you think you won. Just happened that Brady Singer had a tough night and the bullpen couldn't get it going. So Johnny says right here, if they don't go in that situation, Jose Trevino might have to pitch again. And we're talking about our team tonight using a bunch of guys. They also had to use a bunch of guys. Jake Irvin left in the 4th. So they used Thompson, they used Henry, they used Chafin, they used Garcia, they used Fair, and Kyle Finnegan threw a ton of pitches. So they're not exactly sitting pretty either on their side of the bullpen, and their bullpen is significantly worse than the Reds, as we saw today. They gave up quite a bit of runs as well. I mean, I think they had the worst. They're amongst the worst bullpen ERAs in baseball. I don't know if they exactly had the exact worst, but they're surely in that conversation. So I think you're set up okay still for this series. Like I said, I'm not disappointed in yesterday's loss. I am disappointed in today's loss. I'm glad they fought. I'm glad they made an effort, but it was an annoying game. It certainly was one where it feels like they had their chances, and you lose by 2 and you leave 8 guys on base. It's hard to say that you can't be having that, because I think the offense did a really good job. Adam, this came up a couple times today where he said, this Andrew Chafin thing's come up quite a bit. I'm open to the Reds going to get Andrew Chafin, because what's it going to take to get him? And wouldn't he look awesome? Especially say they get Andrew Chafin, right? Let's just play. I'm playing Jeff and Steve right now. This is their job. They go to Bristol. They wear those sweet racing uniforms that they got. Yeah, with the racetrack on the hat and everything. And Andrew Chafin comes out. Doesn't that just feel like that's his MO? Doesn't that just feel like that's where he belongs? Is pitching in the first game ever in a NASCAR stadium? Yeah, brother. Let's do it. Let's go get Andrew Chafin, Adam. He talked me into it. I like it. Well, before we get too far down that, I should probably go ahead and close this one out. If you ain't first, you're last. That's right. So unfortunately tonight the Reds are losers to the Washington Nationals 10-8. The Nationals have 10 runs on 15 hits and no errors. The Reds have 8 runs on 9 hits, no errors. Your winning pitcher tonight is Andrew Chafin. It's his first win of the season. Brady Singer is the loser tonight. He's now 7-8, sitting at a 4.84 ERA. There was no save tonight. But now the Reds are back at it tomorrow with a chance to even this series up. Johnny, I do love the uniforms, man. I really do. Also, if you're going to Bristol, the Locked On guys are going to be there. So find us. Hang out with us. We like beers. We like lots of beers. We'll drink beers with you. We'd be happy to. So we'll kind of give you some more details as we get closer to that as well. But tomorrow, we're back at it. Chase Burns takes the ball. He's currently 0-1 with a 6.19. I'm really excited to see how he pitches coming off the All-Star break, because I thought he had some really good. I thought he pitched pretty well in that Rockies series in that game as well. He's going against Brad Lord, who is 2-5 with a 3.46. First pitch at 6:45. So hopefully, if all things go as planned, I'll be back here about this time, about 9:30, 9:45 area. I'm Tim Daniel. Everyone, thank you so much for spending some time with me. Be sure to keep tuning in for Jeff and Steve's show as well. I know they're getting really heavy in the deadline talk, and I'm excited to hear what all they have to say. Have a good one. I'll see you all tomorrow. Go Red Legs.